Hey there, everybody. I am so excited to welcome Allison Bond. She has such a delightful story of God's purpose for someone's life. As a premature baby, Allison was born with disability and developmental delays, as well as mild cerebral palsy. Though her mother would tell you she's growing up, Allison wasn't fond of writing. That has since changed as she now runs a ministry called KTLM Project, which stands for Kindness Through Letters Mission Project. In just a few short years, Allison has written letters sharing God's love to over 2,000 people, from prisons to ministries and anywhere in between. God is using Allison to share inspiration and his.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm excited. All right. So let's start with question number one. So one of the things that I like to ask everybody on the podcast, because it's dedicated to supporting Christian women who desire to have a deeper connection to Christ, help me share with my listeners a way that you believe they can move just one step closer to a stronger relationship with Christ.
Definitely going to church and like sharing Bible verses with other people and just encouraging them, like just helping them out, because this world it's awful, and so it needs a lot of help.
It needs kindness, right? Just
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
your title. I mean, it really is something I believe we're all in desperate need of more kindness, for sure.
Mhm.
Tell me, what kind of messages do you typically include in your letters and cards and that you send? Do you personalize them in any way?
Sometimes, normally I just use like Bible verses, or I tell them I'm praying for them, or I write an introduction letter that I have typed up that I just print off, and it tells like prisoners and others like what I'm doing and all that, so they can know, like, this ain't some random weirdo sending them letters or anything. They need to know.
So your introduction letter that you're speaking of, do you send those out with the assumption that you're going to continue to write with these people, write with them
Sometimes, yeah,
times? Yeah. Is
sometimes
it,
multiple.
is it
Yeah,
something where you share, okay, this is what I'm doing, if you're interested in
yeah,
becoming more of a pen pal type thing, so they continue to
yeah,
write with you?
yeah, and
On
then
the average, go ahead, I'm
I
sorry.
connect. Oh, sorry. Normally, I connect with them through Facebook once if they get out of prison, unless they're in there for life. I usually
Yeah.
connect, but
Do you, on the average, what number would you say of letters that you continue to write with people? Do you have like multiple people that you keep writing back and forth between, or do you just send out the one letter?
I mean, sometimes I think the other day I got like 11. I think 11 responses. I have the informed delivery, so I'm able to pay attention like the day before, but.
Awesome. So you actually are, I mean, you get quite a bit of communication back towards you.
Yeah. But like I said, with the recognition standpoint of people knowing and people figuring out who I am, I mean, I'll have people that have been blessed by God's love through my ministry contact me through Facebook, or if they're local, they'll find me in town or Walmart, or they. It's awkward at first because I have really bad social anxiety, believe it or not.
Right.
So yeah, but I talk a lot, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so I did that, and then I'll have like random people send me letters back with like cash in it for my ministry or something to help me out.
Oh, wow.
And they don't have, but half the time they don't put any like response, like address. So I don't know who to respond to. So I'm always like, and I have a lot of local stores around here that I've been to that they help me out and everything, and they're like drop off donations, because I live in a tiny town and not many people know where it is. So I'm like, yeah, and I don't want all the people at my house. That would be.
That would be weird.
Yeah, I'll admit though, before I got my PO box, I was doing my ministry from the house, writing prisoners from the house with my home address.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really bad idea.
That was
But
a huge leap of faith right there, sister.
we're like, well, you got like 45 prisoners writing back to you. Now you need a PO box, which is so good. But yeah, my and the little boy that my parents are about to adopt because they're an open foster home and I'm the only biological kid. He's 11. Well, the other day he's like, dang. He's like, that's a lot of letters, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yep. But
That's so cool. So what led you, how did God get you to the point of feeling the desire to write those letters? And can you do you have a message of hope or encouragement you would give to others who might feel limited by their circumstances like you are?
definitely keep praying that God has a purpose for them. Because I mean, it took a while
Yeah.
for me to actually figure out what my ministry was. Like what my
Yeah.
purpose. Because my grandma, she before she died, she used to send out Christmas cards to people, and I thought that's so cool. Like she, I guess I kind of want to be more like her in a way, to not really
Sure.
carry legacy, but to love people like she did and all that. So
Yeah, Christmas cards in particular are almost a um lost
yeah,
what's the word I'm
lost
looking
art.
for?
Yeah,
Yeah, totally a lost art because I mean, it used to be a very common thing, and older generation definitely found it to be a really valuable thing. And I think that's because we now have social media and we have access to people so easily that now people don't think
yeah.
there's a need for something handwritten. One of my closest friends still writes letters to people all the time. And when I get a letter from her, it's like beyond
Mhm.
overjoy. It feels good. There's something about getting something in the mail with your name on it that you're not expecting that just feels so cool. So I think that is a perfectly good suggestion for you to share with everybody, that just pray on that. And following God's prompting is kind of a scary thing. And
Yeah.
I really commend you for stepping out of your comfort zone and out of your box and doing something for God, that he's leading you into something that just continues to grow, it sounds like. Tell the listeners how your story started.
So back in 1996, like I said, I was born early. I was a pound 10 ounces and 12 inches long. I was born
Tiny.
at 25 weeks early, but my cousin, who was born like, I can't remember when she was born. So let's see, she'll be 8 this year, so probably 2015. The month or the year my grandma died, a year before graduation. She was a pound 3.5 ounces, and about, so we're both early, but she's healthy as can be, which is a blessing. But
Sure.
I went to a yard sale the other day, and some lady I was telling her about, me writing to them, sharing Bible verses to them, and she started bawling. I'm like, oh, right. I'm like, great. Yeah, it was. I was like, oh,
Do you,
but
do you find people get moved like that when you share your story, that you have?
sometimes, I mean, especially through Facebook. I mean, if I meet, I mean, I'm like looking at people all awkwardly when I'm in the store, trying to be like to myself to make sure they don't like catch me or something, because half the time they do. But
And
I
then when somebody approaches you in Walmart, how do you handle that? What did you typically hear from people?
usually, usually I'm like, yeah, I'm like, cool. She's like, because people are like, you're the one that writes the letters, and I'm like, yep. And I'm like,
And now I'm gonna go get my milk.
yeah, yeah. The other day I went to the mall. Yesterday I went to the mall, and then this morning I went to Fayetteville, which is like a big town next to me. And they're like, and then I seen on the news, they're like, oh yeah, there was a bank robbery in Fayetteville, and I'm like, because I was just
Ugh.
there. But
And you're like, back to small town.
yeah, I like my town. I mean, there's not a lot of people that I think. Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes away from everything, so it's pretty great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoy it. But
I like being out. I live out in the middle of nowhere myself. I'm like in a real rural area too. I prefer it.
so do I.
I'm actually. You're in Arkansas. Yeah, I'm just a little bit north of you in Missouri, so
That's
I'm
where
not too far from you.
my aunt lives in Missouri, but she works at a prison in Nebraska. So she's a traveling nurse, so she like travels everywhere.
Sure.
Speaking of like encouraging responses and everything, my grandpa told me yesterday, thank you for the get well card that I sent him. Because he had a yeah, he crazy. He crazy. He wow. He likes he's got like but yeah, he's a good Christian guy, but he's crazy as all get out.
Well, you
He
know what? We got to be a little bit crazy in this world just to be able to survive if we're good Christians, to be honest. It's a
yeah,
hard
he
road to toe these days.
it's funny because so my grandpa's girlfriend, not my grandma, but the one that he dated after my grandma died. She she's apparently obsessed with Joe Biden, which is a bad idea. And now my grandpa is I don't know.
Oh,
He
oh,
he's in like I love him to death, but he's I mean he's 87, so he's like yeah,
he
he's
can still vote.
yeah.
Well, all right. So I got a couple more questions for you. One of the things I was thinking about, in today's world, kindness can be really powerful, you know? Can you think of some ways that the listeners can incorporate acts of kindness into their daily lives?
Definitely encouraging people like making like getting a Christmas gift for someone in the nursing home or writing a card to someone in the military or someone in prison just to brighten their day because I mean they're isolated, they need it. So
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So tell me a little bit about how your project has impacted your life and your faith. Has it brought you new connections or opportunities?
it has definitely like encouraged me and brought me closer to the Lord because
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think everybody needs to be closer to the Lord. But
Yes, yes, they do. So, how has it brought you closer? Do you find that you spend more time looking for Bible? Do you spend time in the Word trying to find appropriate verses to share with people?
I
Does
even
that
use
bring
Google. I'm like telling Google over here, like, short Bible verses, because obviously paper is so big. So I had to do that. But I like look them up on Facebook, like different Bible verses or like Bible verses for prisoners or something. Just anything that's good, really. I mean,
Yeah. So your letters, are they fairly short? Yeah.
I mean,
How would, if someone wanted to get into doing what you were doing, what would you recommend they do?
definitely don't overthink things and start out short because and I'm talking about like not starting out with like 150 letters a day, like one is just good, like
Right.
don't yeah, it's
One person at a time, one soul at a time, you know. I think it makes sense for us to try to uh
yeah,
whoever we can reach for Christ, you know. Just that's
totally.
awesome. Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Allie? What are your aspirations? What are your goals?
Well, right now I was praying that I would get noticed by somebody in New York, like a CBS News or whatever. Well, that happened already. They've gotten wind of me. My mom's taking care of all the details of that because she does better than I do. So
Yeah.
she makes
Yeah.
plans better than I do. So she's doing
So
that.
you're going to be on a big TV show?
Well, CBS News,
Yeah.
but
That's
yeah,
big.
they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna fly her out to New York, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, no, because my
Oh,
parents.
that sounds exciting.
Well, yeah, my mom's scared of flying though, so. But my dad's jumped out of planes when he was in the military, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my
So
next
you
goal is one of the Robertson guys or the Bobby Bones show to get wind of me, which they have not yet. But hopefully they will. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
just trying to get the word out to more people, right?
Yes.
So when you get this, when when you receive that notoriety, what do you hope comes from the notoriety or from the people seeing you? Do you hope to be
Definitely,
able to expand the project?
yeah, definitely like reaching out to more people. That's my goal. To reach out to even prisoners in different like states, like and everything. I just want to reach out. I just want to encourage as many people as I can. I
That
mean,
is
yeah,
wonderful. Do you, with your desire to encourage people, do other people do you feel like you're giving encouragement? Do
yeah,
you feel like you are getting encouragement?
yeah, all the time,
Yeah,
especially through Facebook.
how is that encouragement? Do you feel like that encouragement comes from God?
Yes, definitely. I feel like some of the connections, like I said, my friend that was in Benton County or whatever in the local county, he the one that's in the rehab facility, the Christian rehab facility. He like I said, I've only met him through video chat, but he is like he's very encouraged what I do, and I'm always encouraging him, even though he's not in there in jail no more. But I've been encouraging him, and right at this moment, well, not right now, but a few days ago, I was able to encourage my cousin because my cousin is in a county jail waiting for a prison sentence. So he a 15-year prison sentence. So I'm hoping he gets encouraged. I have never encouraged him before, so this is a new thing. But at least he knows me. um, but when he gets transferred, I'm probably gonna just write to him like I do every prisoner and get some encouragement cards that I can send to him and stuff.
Sure. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you listening who might be new to the podcast, you might not know this, but each episode has their own pair of purchasable socks. So, last fun question for you, Allison: what Bible verse will be
Ooh.
on your episode socks, and why?
Hmm. Well, I can't think about it off the top of my head, but I think it has something to do with kindness. I know that much I know, but
Let me
I
look and see what you put on your
if you
questionnaire.
told me it, I'll remember. But no, my
I get that. I mean, I have a terrible memory with regards to Bible verses. I am so envious of some of my friends who are so
mm-hmm.
good at being able to remember their Bible verses.
Yeah, I have so many things to remember. I'm just like do half the time.
This is really a good one too. I can't believe you didn't remember this, Allie. Proverbs 31:26.
Yes, that
She
one.
opens her
Yes.
mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Oh man, that's
Yes,
awesome.
that one. Yeah.
Oh, good. Proverbs 31 woman is what you are, Allie. That's
Sure, that's
awesome.
what I am. Yeah.
Ah, that's awesome. Too funny. I am so grateful that I got a chance to talk with you, Allison. Is there any way for you to go ahead and share with me how people can get in touch with you so that share
Yes.
your socials and everything?
Yes.
I'll be sure to share it in the show notes, but I thought I'd ask now too.
Yeah, I mean, I can share it with you. They can go to KTLM Project on Facebook. I'm on there too. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much, Allie, for socking it to him. I had so much fun talking with you, and I wish you the best of luck, and I'll be praying that you continue to get those letters out. Take
Yes.
care, hon.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.